Good morning, I'm Andrea. I'm going to show you how to make dairy-free, refined sugar-free chocolate. The 5 ingredients I use to make my chocolate is cacao butter. I'm never really sure if it's cacao, however you say it. Cacao powder. We've got honey, vanilla essence, and sea salt. Okay, so the 2 ingredients you're going to use first are the cacao butter and the honey. I've got my measuring jug. I do 1 cup of cacao butter. Now some cacao butter comes really chunky. If that's the case, it's hard to measure it. So you might actually just want to use a knife and cut it down into smaller pieces. This one's quite powdery already. So I should explain at this point, it's a bit of a feel recipe. So people like their chocolate differently, so it doesn't matter if you don't get the measurements exactly right. It's sort of just how you enjoy your chocolate. Just a tiny bit less. Okay, so that's a cup. Now over here I've set up a saucepan with about 1 inch of water in it, and I've put a bowl on top. So we actually want to gently melt the cacao butter. We don't want it directly on heat. So I'm just going to put that in there. And with the honey, I like my chocolate quite bitter. So I only add about a tablespoon, or a dessert spoon of honey in. Now we want the honey to melt with the cacao butter. So we put these 2 ingredients in first. So just do this. I might just get another spoon, scrape it off. Of course, if you're the only ones eating this chocolate, then you can just scrape it off with your finger. Alright, so now I'm just turning the gas on so that we can start heating the water that's in this saucepan so that it gently melts the cacao butter and honey. So it's been a couple of minutes now, and as you can see, the cacao butter is starting to melt. I normally just use a little whisk and I just start to give it a bit of a stir because I really want that honey to go through all the cacao butter. And you can probably hear that my water is now boiling, so I'm actually just going to turn down the heat because it can just be really, really gentle. So it can just simmer underneath our chocolate. So as you can see, the cacao butter is now completely melted into its oil state. And the honey, you can't really see any clumps of honey. We really want it mixed through there. So now we're ready to turn off the heat, but I'll leave the bowl on the saucepan. And we're just going to add our other 3 ingredients. So pinch of salt. Like I said, this recipe is by feel. So if you like your chocolate salty, just add a little bit more. We're going to add our cacao butter. Oh, sorry, our cacao powder. I'll just rest that there, and I just do a good dash of vanilla. I love vanilla. We've got really good quality vanilla. I think it makes a difference. Same with the honey and the cacao powder. There's lots of variation in the quality, which again changes the flavour of your chocolate. So it's a bit of a taste tester. Figure out how you like it. So just give everything a really good whisk. As you can see, it's starting to look really silky. It's a beautiful thing to make chocolate. It smells delicious and it just looks so beautiful. Scraping up the sides, making sure you get all your cacao powder. And then I just leave the bowl on the saucepan while I set up what I want to put my chocolate into. There's lots of different molds and containers you can put your chocolate into. I personally like to just get a baking dish, rip off the baking paper and pour my chocolate into here to set as a big slab that I can just break shards off. Other people, they put their chocolate into these cupcake cases, and then when you pull it out, it's got this beautiful crinkly look. You can get chocolate molds. You can put it in ice trays. It's really up to you. So I'm going to do 2 different things this morning. I'm just quickly going to get my chocolate off the heat, give it a bit of a wipe with the tea towel underneath because there's all this water condensation. Give it a bit of a whisk. And if you're going with the cupcake case, you can just pour however much you want in for each individual chocolate. So about that. Do 3 different ones like this. Mini cupcake cases are probably even better because that's a cute little chocolate size. Just like so. But if you're going to do the slab like I do, I literally just hold the baking paper down get as much out as I can with the whisk. Get a spatula. Scrape it out. You don't want any to go to waste. Then literally just spread it out. So you just want to poke into the corners to make sure that that baking paper's down. Great. So this is my chocolate slab and I'm going to put it in the fridge to set. So I've just pulled the chocolate out of the fridge. It's been in there setting for about an hour, so it's nice and hard now. These are our cupcake cases, also nice and hard. So all you do now, break shards off. So it's quite chunky. Got your shards of chocolate that you can eat. If you chose to do something like the cupcakes, all you do, just pull it out of its case. So you've got this beautiful crinkle look on the outside. Now for the taste test. Good. Thank you for watching.